Alright, so I had to start a second video, so we're going to stick with space. So again, this is a cool Instagram thing that was going around. So the actual negative space is the cutout, is the flowers, and then the white is the actual piece of paper, which is pretty cool. So for space, let's review real quick. So again, space is the area between, around, above, below, or within things. You can have positive space, which is the actual person, or like the part you can touch. And then negative space is the air around it. Okay? So it's pretty cool. So for your choice, you can check the YouTube page and see what I do for space for the artist trading card, or you can do your own design. Make sure I can tell that it's space. Perspective. Perspective is tough. We talk about it for a little bit, but perspective, the long definition is representation of a three-dimensional object on a flat surface to produce the same impression of distance and relative size as that perceived by the human eye, aka also known as using lines to trick the viewer into thinking what you are drawing is actually 3D. The first definition is extremely long. There's lots of words. It's hard for me to even understand. So my definition is using lines to trick the viewer into thinking what you are drawing is actually three-dimensional. So perspective is the angle you are drawing from. You could have the straight on perspective. You don't see the inside of the fruit. If I stand up, I now see the top of the fruit. If the fruit somehow magically floats above me and I look up, I will see inside. So there's lots of different types. There's 1 point perspective. There's a dot right here where my mouse is, and all the lines go back. And you have to, excuse me, now is the time to start opening your mind to, we know that this TV here is a rectangle. But if we're looking just at this, it's not a rectangle. It's a funky four-sided shape. And to make it look three-dimensional, you need that 1 point for the top lines to go to and the bottom lines to go to make it realistic. And it's a hard topic to grasp, but I want you to be open-minded about it. There's 2 point perspective. There's a point here on the left side and a point here on the right side. You draw a straight line down like you're on the corner, and then the top lines go to the center point, the bottom lines go to, I said center point, I meant right point. Okay, same with the left side. And that goes with the signs and the mirrors, depending on which side of the street we're on. Then 3 point perspective gets all crazy. Let's pretend I'm a superhero flying around and I can elevate myself. And I somehow am at this corner here. You have a point back here where all the right side lines go to this point. You have a point to the left, and then you also have a point below. So we know these buildings cannot be this funky shape, but based on our perspective, as the building goes down towards the ground, it's going to get smaller. And it's all about tricking the eye. This is a cool one. This is a 1 point example of a student's artwork. She split herself in half, and everything goes back to that 1 point. So check the YouTube page to see what I choose to do for my artist trading card, or you can do your own for perspective. Value. Value is so important, and if we were in school, that would be the second project we do. Value is the lightness and darkness of a color. I cannot emphasize this enough. This circle, well, the sphere would not be a sphere without valuing, without us coloring darker, starting light, going to dark. So value is so important. and we're going to work a lot on how to apply good craftsmanship, lightly start drawing, and then slowly add layers of value. To get value, you have to have a light source, which we always have a light source. And that's the vessel that, the vessel that directs brightness. That sounds weird. So you could have artificial light, which comes from a light bulb. So this is a pretty cool example here. You start off bright, goes medium gray, dark gray, and then goes to black. You could have natural lighting. So for photography, it's very important. It's really pleasing to the eye if someone's in natural light. So that means come from the sun. So this teapot here, or kettle, it's all line drawings right here, lines and shapes. Then when you add value to it, you can tell that this is a lighter colored kettle. And as the teapot there goes up, it gets darker behind there. It makes a shadow. And then to even emphasize that this is three-dimensional, we value the background as well. So this is a graphite drawing here, which means from a pencil. So it's light, medium, dark, then light, medium, dark, or vice versa. Then this is a painting with different values. There's two types of value, natural and artificial. Oh, that's light source. Two types of light source, natural, artificial. Three types of value. You can have tint. When you're painting, that means you add white. Tone means you add gray. And then shade means you add black. So you can see tint, tone, shade. Check the YouTube page for what I do for value, or you can come up with your own design. Color's crazy. All right, color is a scientific discovery, but color in the simplest definition is light reflected off a surface. So depending on the time of the day, depending on the type of light you have, will determine the colors you see. There are three primary colors, red, yellow, blue. These come from nature. You cannot take two colors and mix red. You cannot take two colors and mix yellow or blue. These come from nature. This is what started everything. And then through scientific discoveries, we've been able to use chemicals and things to make these really bright, fun colors. So primary colors, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the general public, the primary colors are the ones you want to use because that's what psychologically we register. There is a whole philosophy on color theory, and if you're interested, you could spend your whole life learning about color. Secondary colors are when you mix two of the primary colors together. So red and yellow are primary colors. When you mix them together, you get orange. Red and blue are purple. Yellow and blue makes green. Then tertiary or intermediate colors. You take one primary, one secondary, you mix them together, you get an intermediate color. So yellow-orange is yellow-orange. Blue and green together makes blue-green. And red and violet together makes red-violet. I think tertiary or intermediate colors are absolutely beautiful. Some of my favorites. Intensity is the degree of saturation or strength of a color. So you have a hue. You start off with a color. If you do less saturation, you will have dull. Oh, they're testing the fire alarms. So high intensity means it's bright in the center. Low intensity means it's dull, and you get dull by adding gray, which is a tone, or black, which is a shade. So in the center is your high intensity, and then as you go out to the edges is your low intensity. Complementary colors, man, this is my go-to. Colors directly across from the color wheel from each other. Psychologically, if you put complementary colors together, our brains subconsciously tell us we like it, we want it, we want to buy that food, we want to cheer for that team. So complementary colors are directly across the color wheel from each other. Red and green, Christmas colors. That's not a coincidence. Orange and blue, they look great together, and purple and yellow. So oftentimes you will see that. Start looking at businesses for their color choices. The NFL teams mostly do complementary colors. It is because we are trying to get people to participate, and when you pair complementary colors together, psychologically, it tricks us into wanting that object. Orange and blue, these are just some examples. Orange and blue compositions together. Red and green. Yellow and purple. So if you come to me and go, what should I do for this color option, or how should I color this? I'm going to say, what's the complement? And then that's what my answer. Analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. So yellow, orange, orange, those are next to each other, and those are called analogous colors. You have cool colors, blues, greens, purples. These are very relaxing colors. Blues, greens, purples. Then you have warm colors, very cozy colors, reds, yellows, and oranges. So for color, you can check the YouTube page and see what I choose to do for color. You can straight up copy me, or you can choose to do your own version for color. I'm almost at my end here on my video. So the schedule, today is Friday, and you're watching this PowerPoint. I want you to take notes, and then I want you to check the discussion board and answer my questions on the discussion board. That's all for today. I appreciate you watching me today. Then on Monday, we're going to focus on line and shape. On Tuesday, I want you to draw form and texture. On Wednesday, space and perspective. Thursday, value and color. And then on Friday, we will do a culminating sketchbook assignment with the elements. So each day this next week, I want you to draw your artist trading card for each day. I will let you know how I want you to post those, and then the following week we will talk about principles. If you have any questions, email me and I will get back to you.